later in D5 become difficult. But for this, all we need to do is understand how many material we need in the materials panel. We duplicate a basic material, give it a new name, and assign a color to it. For example, I will name this material D5 underline white, and then apply it to all the parts that are supposed to the white material. To assign the material to this part, which is component, I just select it. Then it's the properties panel under the material setting. I assign the material we just created to. To see the material, you just need to change the viewport setting to shade it. You don't really need to add a texture to this Revit material. Using simple color is enough to visually to easily see the difference between them. If we have a wall, we can assign a different material to different parts of it. Using the paint tools, once paint is active, we just select the material we want and click on the surface where we want to apply it. It's that simple. We can assign the material to the entire project using the same methods. And don't worry if something isn't perfect. Once we are in a D5, we can adjust everything later and see the change of this light. After giving material to our model, we can connect Revit-to-D5. So we can send our model directly to D5 for rendering. The great thing is that any change we make it in Revit will update live in D5. To do this, we need to install the Revit and D5 connection plugin. Go to www.d5render.com, open the workflow section, choose Revit, download and install the plugin, and select your Revit version. After installation, a new section called D5 Render will appear in Revit. Click on the D5 Render tab in Revit and press Start D5. This will open D5 and your project will appear live in D5. Important: D5 must be installed on your Windows. In the previous step, we assumed D5 is installed, and we only installed the sync plugin to connect the Revit and D5. After clicking Start, choose a new project to open a new project in D5. You will see your Revit project importance exactly. Now, you can add a material, design the environment, adjust lighting, and render in the D5. I turn off the terrain because it's the surface that's D5 created, and I don't need it. In the sense list, I create a new sense and click on the camera to set my view, like the reference image. Make sure to turn on fly at the top so you can move easily in the project without any problem. I want to move back a bit so I can get my desired angle by adjusting the camera setting. By changing the focal length, I can reach the view I want and get a professional looking shot of the building. I'm testing 40mm lens, and I think it looks very similar to the angle of the original photo. Now, it's time to start applying materials to the project. D5 already has a complete material library, and we are going to use that in the asset section. Under material, we can search for any type of material and access all its different variations. For example, now we want to use the concrete for the wide parts of the project. All we need to do is select the material we want and then click on the area. You'll see that all the parts in Revit that added that material get assigned automatically. So now you can better understand how to apply material on your project in Revit. For the next material, we want a nice black one. This material library is really complete, so I recommend taking some time to explore it. Check out all the material and their variation, and for your next project, you will have a clear idea of which material to use for each part. Now, there's a part of the project we hadn't planned it for, so we need to go back to Revit and make some change. But it's actually really cool because we can do it live in Revit and see its updates in D5 at the same time. For example, at the entrance, parts of our walls is black and parts is wood. We just go in Revit, create a groove in the wall, change the material for that part, click sync model in a D5 render. The change appears instantly, and we can continue working easily. The material quality in a viewport may look a bit low, but that's okay. Lighting hasn't been done, and the final render setting will give us excellent quality. Let's move on to assigning the rest of the materials. We definitely need to adjust the UV of our material on the model. When we pick a material, we can access its setting right in the viewport. I usually use three main settings. First, stretch, which lets us scale the texture on the X and Y axis to fit the model. Second, offset, which lets you move the texture around on the surface. And third one, rotate, which lets us rotate the texture on the model. Right now, we need to rotate the material. Let's Continue like this and start applying and adjusting material on this project. For the next step, we need to create the environment, including all 3D model, like tree, plants, cars, and anything else in D5. We use the D5 assets again under the model section. This part is kind of like a game. You can find anything in the library. Just grab it and drag it into the sets. You need to adjust its size using a scale parameter. I will try to arrange all the models to match the reference photo, but you can also do it however you like.